Welcome to the 10th arrondissement. Located in the heart of the right bank, it's one of the most vibrant parts of the capital.
The dixième is where history meets modern, like here with the Porte Saint-Denis and the nearby Porte Saint Martin, built to celebrate Louis XIV's victories in battle. 3 centuries ago, this is how the Sun King wanted people to enter the French capital, dwarfed and properly humbled.
Today, people still enter Paris through the dixième arrondissement, as it's home to 2 of the capital's largest train stations, the Gare du Nord and the Gare de l'Est.
They and the much-loved Canal Saint Martin have made the 10th a multicultural melting pot that really captures the essence of Parisian life.
Join us as we discover the dynamic dixième.
The 10th may not have any major monuments or museums, but what it does have brings people flocking from around the capital.
Parisians come from all over to visit the incredible Canal Saint Martin that cuts the 10th arrondissement in 2. And we're actually going to take a boat ride on the canal thanks to Captain Hilbrun Buys.
Hi, Hilbrun.
Hi, Genie. Hi, Flo.
Thank you so much for taking us on that boat ride with myboatparis.fr. So here we are on the Canal Saint Martin. The canal really changed the face of the 10th arrondissement in the 19th century. Give us its history.
So initially, the canal was delved in order to supply the city's fountains with water, with drinking water for the population. It was something that was needed for a while, but the decree finally came through when Napoleon said this must be done, and so then it happened. And with time, the canal itself served an industrial function because it's easier to carry things over water if they're heavy than over roadways. So then they installed a system of locks that allowed this portion of the canal to be navigable. And so that developed over the course of the 19th century and became turning it into a veritable thoroughfare for industrial transport, building materials, wood, you name it.
So it was for business and pleasure.
So at the time, it was principally for business. Nobody really saw a canal as anything other than an industrial artery, and there wasn't really such an aesthetic quality to it. It was beautiful for the value it brought, but nobody would come and see it for its prettiness.
Whereas today, it's quite the tourist destination in the 10th arrondissement. It actually runs from the Bassin de la Villette all the way down to the Seine, and there's a lot of toing and froing to go along the canal. Can you tell us how it works?
Yes, absolutely. So water is collected in the basin, the Bassin de la Villette. That's where it sits, and then that's what's going to supply the water to the locks. And so in order to have a navigable canal and not a rapid, it must have at certain points places that hold the water back so we can have a level water plane like here and make it navigable. In between them, you'll have locks. It's a set of double doors that'll open, will allow the water to reach the same level as the one we're on, and then we open the other set of doors and it lowers to the next level, and that's how we can navigate the canal. It's time consuming, but a lot quicker than carrying all the things that people used to carry on their backs or on horses or whichever other.
What's the level difference between the Bassin de la Villette and the Seine? Like, is it a big difference?
My recollection is 21 meters.
Wow.
Yes.
And today, the Canal Saint Martin has become a real drawing point for people around Paris. It's a hot spot. Why is it so trendy, and what's the vibe like here now?
I think people have discovered how fun it is to sit by the water. and I like to say that the best things in Paris are free, and one of those things is sitting by the water with a bottle of rosé or anything else, and mostly friends. And there is no better place to do it than along the canal or along the river. And the canal has the advantage that you're closer to the water. The water feels safer because it's not gushing down the way the Seine does. And then you have this industrial heritage of the locks, little bridges, and the houses along the side, and the history that you have. So.
And one thing that's amazing about the canal is it's so picturesque, and it's actually been featured in a lot of films.
Yes, it has. So I guess the classic one that people keep talking about is l'Hôtel du Nord. I think particular French culture, people who know French culture will know it. And then Amélie is one of the films that was used in, it probably is also responsible for a portion of the gentrification and the popularity of the area. And then in addition to that, well, I guess also within the canal's context, Mission Impossible was also filmed at some point, one of them, I suppose. And so yes, it is picturesque and cinematographic, and hopefully more films will come.
And over the years, every once in a while, they do a big cleanup of the Canal Saint Martin. What kind of things have they found?
They found all kinds of things. I think you can just imagine what's around a canal. So you find anything from wine bottles to bicycles to larger objects, things that people don't want to get or don't know how to get rid of, refrigerators and the like. But most of all, what's interesting is that in most cases, many canals, you can't do this. The advantage here is that at the level of the basin, of the Bassin de la Villette, the canal or the water flow splits in two, being the Canal Saint Denis and the Canal Saint Martin. They can send all the water in one direction, allowing them to clean up and mostly do maintenance. Depending on how well they maintain the river when it's, or the canal bed when it's empty, will indicate how much time they need before the next time this will happen. So it's fun.
All right, well, Hilbrun, thank you so much.
It's been a great pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
Shortly after the Canal Saint Martin was inaugurated, this massive train station, the Gare de Nord, was built in the 10th.
It replaced another station from the 1840s that was taken down stone by stone and rebuilt in the northern city of Lille, where it still stands today.
The Gare du Nord has an incredible iron and glass roof and a neoclassical facade that's covered with statues symbolizing the different northern cities you can get to from here.
Today, Gare du Nord is the busiest train station in Europe. Each day, some 700,000 travelers come through here, including people on their way to London, Brussels, Berlin, and Amsterdam.
The Gare du Nord is one of 6 major train stations in the French capital, and another one of them is also in the 10th, just a short walk away.
The Gare de l'Est, or Eastern Station, was built just next to the Gare du Nord in order for trains to pass between 2 high hills, Montmartre to the west and Les Buttes-Chaumont to the east. And while it's much smaller than its big sister, Gare de l'Est has a fascinating history all its own. It was at this station that the legendary Orient Express first hit the rails in 1883. The luxury train line still leaves from here today. The Gare de l'Est was also the departure point for thousands of soldiers during World War I. They're remembered in a massive mural hanging in the station. The departure of the infantrymen, August 1914, was painted by American artist Albert Herter, whose eldest son was killed in the war. There are other trains running beneath the tracks of Gare de l'Est, but they only go in circles. Here you'll find a model train museum filled with miniature wagons and passengers riding on over 600 meters of tracks, every detail handcrafted in the late 40s and early 50s. Gare de l'Est is constantly evolving. In 2027, it will become the departure point for the CDG Express. The new high-speed railway line will connect the capital with Charles de Gaulle Airport in just 20 minutes.
Smack in between Gare de l'Est and Gare du Nord, you'll find Paris's largest remaining covered market.
The Marché Couvert Saint-Quentin dates back to 1835, and it remains a foodie's paradise, as you can find stalls selling fresh fruit and veg, fresh fish, delicious cheeses, you name it.
And there are also all kinds of different cuisine from all over the world, everything from North African to Asian to Lebanese to Portuguese.
And that reflects a multicultural feel that you get throughout the 10th arrondissement, where you can taste some of the capital's most exotic cuisine.
Vous voulez le morceau ou côtelette?
Moi, je veux la morceau.
Morceau?
On Rue du Faubourg Saint-Denis, Urfadurum is always busy. This popular Kurdish restaurant offers street food imported directly from southeastern Anatolia, different from westernized kebab standards.
Ici qu'on fait, là-bas, on n'a pas de sauce, pas de frites. Et je fais la même chose pour les Parisiens aussi, ils adorent.
The traditional durum on offer is a recipe for success that appeals far beyond the Kurdish community.
La France, c'est un pays bien où il y a toutes les nationalités, il y a toutes sortes de personnes. Il faut tester aussi la culture des autres.
A culinary exchange made possible thanks to the unique social fabric of the 10th arrondissement. This historical gateway for the capital's earliest waves of immigration is now a foodie's paradise, home to some 1,000 restaurants from all over. Just a few meters away, the Passage Brady, and a whole other world. Built in 1828, this arcade became a stronghold of the Indo-Pakistani community in the early 1970s.
Avec l'odeur, quand vous rentrez du passage, vous sentez directement l'odeur des épices et ça rappelle l'Inde.
But the face of the food-loving 10th arrondissement is changing. Long favored by restaurant owners because of its affordable rents, the district has seen property prices rise by nearly 30% over the past decade. Today, trendy coffee houses have set up shop beside long-established businesses.
Je vois à titre personnel une gentrification des commerces. Donc c'est vrai qu'on trouve beaucoup plus de coffee shops, on trouve beaucoup plus d'épiceries bio, d'épiceries indépendantes, de restaurants un peu plus haut de gamme. Toutefois, au niveau de la fréquentation du quartier, elle reste très diversifiée.
That's the challenge facing this neighborhood. Embrace this new wave of fashionable cuisine without driving out the popular food culture that's long been the soul of the 10th.
And in addition to all that great food, the 10th has also long been a district of culture and entertainment.
Theaters started popping up along the big boulevards here in the second half of the 18th century, offering entertainment that was more populaire, designed for the growing middle class.
France still has a very strong tradition of this théâtre de boulevard, its own genre of silly, fast-paced theater that's filled with plot twists, mistaken identities, and a lot of laughs.
And on top of that, the 10th arrondissement also has some incredible musical venues. For instance, you have the Alhambra, which has featured jazz legends Duke Ellington and Thelonious Monk, and the also iconic New Morning that was inaugurated by the jazz drummer Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers.
In any case, the 10th has a very diverse nightlife that's definitely worth checking out the next time you're in Paris.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's show. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon for another edition of French Connections.